Listen, there was a time I almost sold my body to the night in order to achieve my goals. Before I tell you about that, I want to talk to you about the worry versus the willingness. If you're trying to achieve a higher level of success in pretty much anything in your life, I don't care if it's more money, more freedom, more love, more weight loss, more energy, more health, more romance, the path forward almost always runs into a moment that requires a commitment that's going to scare you and challenge you. And you're going to have kind of like that fork in the road moment of how you're going to handle it. And it's going to define you going forward for your life. It's literally going to code the fabric of your DNA and who you are in your life. You see, what most people will do when faced with a fearful moment is lean into the worry. The worry of, can I do it? Will I do it? How can I do it? What will they think of me? What will they say about me? And that worry can often paralyze us from moving forward and cripples our growth, our confidence, and our ability to figure things out. And I'll share with you how to overcome that by telling you a story of when I was worried, do I have what it takes to move up in my life? And the business that had me on the verge of becoming a male escort to bail my ass out of the situation that I got myself in. See, it was almost a decade ago, and I was just coming out of near bankruptcy and starting to move into my first online business. And I was there where I'm like, okay, here we go. I had invested in this coaching program and this course, and I was just like, okay, I'm learning this product launch thing, and I'm trying to figure out how do I do this. And I had like my first successes. I paid $2K, and I was just like, remember, I was near bankrupt before that. So I was just coming at it. I didn't want to put a ton of money back on my cars, but I did my first launch and made my first 8K, and I started using this system to make an extra 2K, 3K, 4K a month. And I was starting to build some momentum. I was starting to have more belief that I can do this, but I wasn't kind of like breaking through to that next level. And I go and attend the live event around this course and this program, and I'm there at this event, and I'm feeling the energy, I'm feeling the momentum of being in there, and I'm seeing the community that was built and how other people were helping each other, and I'm like, damn, I need to get into this room. I need to be in that room. I need to be coached by these people. I need to be around these kind of people. But when they offered their mastermind program, it was like $25,000 pay in full. And I was like, I don't got that kind of money. I'm gonna have to put this back on my cards. And I was literally like up all night deciding, can I do this? Is this what I should do? Should I put another 25K? Can I go? And I started going into the worry, and all the worry was running through my head. And I remember I called my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, but we had just started dating. And I asked her, I'm like, hey, should I do this? Should I go forward? She's like, we just started dating. Don't make me have to say yes, no, and then this decide your life going forward. You decide on this. And I'm like, so cool, but not very helpful. Not very helpful to me right now. I needed some decisiveness from somebody besides myself. I remember calling a mentor at the time and asking him like, hey, should I do this? Should I go forward? And he's like, listen, I don't want to give you that advice because this is a choice you need to make on your own. But here's what I will tell you. Every time that you have committed in your life, you go and act and you implement and you move forward. Trust in that. And if you do that, I think this will guide you on to the next level. And I remember being like, okay, I can trust in myself. I think I can figure this out. And I'm willing to do what it takes. I have the willingness to go in and execute and implement. And I remember going to the back of the room of who was set with the coaching program and the group that I was in. And I remember asking the guy, being like, hey, listen, I want to be in this program. I know I can be in this mastermind. I know I'll execute. I know it'll be a good case study and social proof for you. Here's the thing though. I need you to hold processing this application for 7 days, because then it's going to put me on a new cycle with my card. So instead of like 25, 30 days, I got 45 some odd days to figure out how am I going to make the 25K back. And the guy was awesome. And he's just like, you know what? I believe you. I think you will. We're going to do that. I'll hold it for 7 days, but I'll give you access right now. And I was like, yo, you're the man. Sometimes you just need that person to give you that helping hand that moves you forward. That was a big thing that I'll always remember that John Walker helped out with. But I get in the program. I immediately dive. I immediately start doing everything in the program, shooting a new course. This had to have been like, geez, 2011-ish. And I start shooting a new course. I'm going to sell this product. Back then, it was going to be a $500 course. And this, that. And I'm literally back in the old days of the flip phone, the flip recorder. I'm taping things to boxes. I'm shooting this. I got copies of Brendan Bouchard's Experts Academy here. I got PLF over here. And I'm trying to stitch together everything I got to do. And I go and I create this whole new launch. And I get out there, and it's day one of the launch. Now remember, I got 25K that I got to pay. Now it's been 30 some odd days. By the time the launch is going to be 7 to 10 days, by the time this thing wraps up, I got a couple days to hit this deadline and pay this freaking Amex off. And I'm like, day one goes to the launch. One sale comes through, $500. Wah, wah. And I'm literally like, oh shit. how am I gonna freaking pay this? So this is when I lived in Orange County, this is when I owned gyms. So back then I had some abs, I had some looks, I had some body, you know, I was just like, you know what? Male escorts are a good thing in OC. There's a lot of cougars, there's a lot of people out here that would take out a good looking guy on the night, and I can make myself some money as an escort for the nights, and I will figure out how do I sell this body to the night. And I'm starting to legitimately resource this shit. And I'm like, research this stuff. And day 2 of the launch comes around, I may get maybe 2 more sales, and I'm legit like, ads. How do you run ads? Where do I actually get clients as a male escort? I'm taking this research deep here, people, because I'm like, I got to be willing to do whatever it takes to make this happen. I trusted in myself. I made the investment. And even though it's not paying off right now, the willingness to do whatever it takes sometimes will stretch us outside of the norm for a brief period of our time at that moment. And I'm literally like, but luckily I had a group around me, and that group was kind of like, hey, do you realize that this is going off with the launch and there's this tech issue and blah, blah, blah. You got to fix this. You got to fix that. That started to fix some things. And I got about up to about 5,000 in sales coming into the last couple days of the launch. And I'm about to head to New York to see family for the holidays. Don't launch during holidays, but nonetheless. About to take off, and I'm freaking out, and I'm definitely now, I'm researching these websites online, and I'm looking at how do you place an ad, how do you submit to be, to be an escort and stuff like that. Don't judge me, people. Don't judge me, but nonetheless. And I remember that the group that I'm in, the mastermind that I'm in, when they saw the panic, they were kind of like, hey, dude, did you create countdown emails, the last 72-hour sequence? I'm like, I don't know what that is. And they're like, oh, dude, don't you know that the majority, like 80% of sales come on the last couple days? You're going to be fine. Here's what you got to do. Here's the scripts. Here's the templates. Here's how you do that. Run these things. Get this all set up. And then get your butt on your plane and just set the automations to go. And I'm like, oh, God, I got to trust in this process. I got to be willing to trust in this process, to trust in these people. Set that all up. And as I'm taking off on the plane, I remember having this beer at Long Beach Airport. And I'm like, this could be my last day as not a male escort. And I begin a new future tomorrow if this final countdown series doesn't work. And I remember flying all the way to New York. We land, and it's now midnight in New York, but I'm waiting for my phone on the tarmac to load, and I'm like, come on, man, come on, load up. I got to see these last things. Back then, when you made a sale, there was a subject line like cha-ching, and that used to come across. Oh, I still miss the cha-ching because they've changed it now, but nonetheless, it used to say cha-ching. And I remember as my phone finally loads up, all I see is in my inbox, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. I'm counting them. I'm like, $27,000, $27,000, and I fucking jump up, and what I end up doing is I'm in the window seat. As I jump up, I smack my head and my hands in the freaking luggage compartment overhead. The entire plane starts laughing. I'm like, it don't matter, because I do not need to sell my body to the night anymore. And I shelved being a male escort, and I began my career in the online business because of that moment, that willingness to do whatever it takes. So for you right now, you got to be asking yourself, am I too much in the worry, or am I more into the willingness? Because the solution wasn't the worry. It was the willingness to act, the willingness to lean into and trust a process, the willingness to be coached, the willingness to trust in myself and my ability to come out fighting when the back is against the wall. So right now for you, where do you need to shed the worry and lean into the willingness to do what it takes to create more in your life? Whatever that more is for you, so you can live an extraordinary life and you never look back again on how your life once was, and instead you lean into what your life is about to become. Share that below. And if you did something almost crazy like me, what was that? So we can all laugh together.